technical description of flower. So, in the morphological terms, so like we can say many such technical words are there to describe the character of a flower. So, we know that flower is a modified shoot, or when the plant enters into reproductive stage from the vegetative stage, the leaf or the vegetative parts are modified to form into the parts of a flower. Like shoot is modified to form the pedicel, and the leaves are modified to form the floral leaves like calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. So, in this part, so when in the taxonomical aspect, so we can say that two things are there. One is called as floral formula and other is called as a floral diagram, which are helping in the description of the characters of the flowers. So, let us start with the floral formula. So, the characters of the flowers are represented in the form of symbols and numbers, or numerical and symbolic representation of the floral characters is called as floral formula. So, this will give the basic information or the minimum number of characteristic features related to the flower. So, in this one we know that starting with a bract. So, at the base of the flowers a small green hair-like structure is present, that is called as bract. If the flower contain bract, such type of flowers are called as bracteate flowers, and it is represented as BR. And it is not compulsory that all the flowers should contain bract. So, there are some flowers where the bract is absent, ebracteate flowers. So, that is represented as EBR. Then on the pedicel a small hair-like structure similar to that of bract is present, that is called as bracteole. If bracteole is present, such type of flower is called as bracteolate flower, represented as BRL. And if the bracteole is absent, so it is called as ebracteolate flower, represented as EBRL. Then coming to the symmetry of the flowers. So, basically we say that if the flower is cut into two equal halves passing from the center, and we get equal parts in every vertical division. So, that is called as actinomorphic flowers. So, this actinomorphic nature is represented as a circle with a plus mark inside, and if the flower is cut into only two equal parts in one vertical angle, so this type of flowers are called as zygomorphic flowers, represented with a percentage mark. Then coming to the sexuality of the flowers, we know that flowers may be either bisexual or unisexual in their nature. So, when they are bisexual, so they contain both the male reproductive organ and the female reproductive organ. So, male reproductive organ will be shown like this and female will be shown like this. So, as both of them are present, this is a symbolic representation of the bisexual flower. And if it is a unisexual flower, either it may be female flower or it may be male flower. Unisexual female, it is represented like this, and unisexual male with this symbol. Then the floral parts, starting with the perianth, non-essential organs, particularly in the monocots. So, there is no differentiation of the calyx and corolla. Both of them are similar in their color, shape and structure. So, such type of structures are called as perianth or tepals. So, here perianth is represented with capital P. For example, if the perianth contains a total of 6 tepals as like in Liliaceae, so it had to be represented as P with 6 number, but so out of the 6 they are arranged in 3 in outer whorl and 3 in inner whorl. So, that should be represented as 3 plus and 3 after that. That is 3 represents the outer whorl and other 3 represents the perianth lobes present in the inner whorl. The same way, when it coming to the dicots, where we can easily differentiate the calyx from corolla. So, calyx is represented with capital K, and the number have to be represented that have to be subscript to K. Like if they have 5, K5, likewise we have to show. Then fused condition, free condition should also be shown. Let's discuss that after completion of the essential organs also. Next one, corolla. Corolla is represented with capital C and andrecium. The male reproductive organs, that is represented with capital A, gynoecium. Female reproductive organ represented with capital G. There is a possibility of epipetalous condition. So epipetalous means the petals are somewhere binded, or the stamens are binded to the petals. So that have to be shown like this with the arrow mark from A to C. Then there are some conditions like epiphyllous. This type of character is observed in monocots, where the stamens are attached to some part of the perianth lobes. So that have to be shown like this, P and A, arrow mark from A to P. That is called as epiphyllous condition. And sometimes andrecium and gynoecium is also been attached to each other. So that attachment is shown like this, andrecium and gynoecium, where there is a binding nature between the, that means some part of the andrecium is binded to some part of the gynoecium. Sorry, repeat. Some part of the andrecium is binded to some part of gynoecium. And here fused and free conditions are present, like sepals may be free or fused, and petals may be free or fused, stamens may be free or fused, or in the same way carpels are free or fused. So when there is a fused condition, so we have to show the subscripted number in the bracket. For example, calyx have 5 sepals which are fused, so that have to be shown in the bracket. 5 have to be shown in the bracket, and if the sepals are 5 which are free, there is no need of showing the bracket around 5. In the same way for perianth also, same like if 3 plus 3 as we are discussing, if the sepals are fused, if the perianth are fused or perianth lobes are fused, so the fused condition 3 plus 3, that is 3 are present in inner whorl, 3 are present in outer whorl, and they are fused. So that have to be shown in the bracket around this 3 and 3. So if they are free, 3 P 3 plus 3 like this, no need of writing the bracket. So for corolla also, let's take the example of Fabaceae, where 5 petals are present, in which vexillum, wing petals and keel petals are there. Vexillum and wing petals are free, so no need of showing any bracket around them, but only the keel petals are fused, so we have to show the bracket around 2. For example, if 5 petals are there which are free, so no, you have to subscript here 5 here, and no need of drawing the bracket. And if they are fused, 5 and fused, so C 5 should be subscript, and around 5 a bracket have to be shown. The same thing for andrecium also. For example, if 5 stamens are there which are free, no need of showing the bracket, and 5 fused condition in the bracket. Let's take the example of Fabaceae members, where a total of 10 stamens are there, like out of that 9 are fused, so 9 have to be shown in the bracket, plus the 10th one have to be shown freely. So this type of representation is there for andreciums. Then for gynoecium, if it is monocarpellary, so when we say the carpels are free or fused, means at least the number of carpels should be 2, so that as 1 is there, it is free only, so no need of showing any bracket. And if it is 2, if they are free, no need of showing a bracket here, but if they are fused, we have to show the bracket around the subscript 2. And here we know that superior condition is there of the ovary, inferior condition of the ovary, and half inferior condition of the ovary, or half superior condition of the ovary. So here if it is the same gynoecium, that is bicarpellary syncarpous gynoecium, where the ovary is superior, so G 2 in the bracket, and we have to show the bar below G. And if it is inferior, gynoecium bicarpellary syncarpous bar above G, and bicarpellary syncarpus half inferior we have to show a bar side to G. So, this type of ovaries nature can also be shown in the symbolic representation in the form of floral formula. In floral formula, we can't know whether the what is the side, posterior side, and what is the anterior side. And of course, we can say when bract is there, that particular side is the anterior side, and what is the type of placentation, number of ovules, that type of characters can't be identified in the floral formula. Next one is floral diagram. The diagrammatic representation of the floral characters is called as floral diagram. So, what we are going to discuss, what is shown in the floral diagram is, if you take a floral bud when it is if you take the flower when it is in a closed condition and take the section of that bud or the unopened flower, and whatever the arrangement of the essential and the non-essential organs in that flower or in that floral bud, that is drawn in the form of a diagram called as a floral diagram. So, in this one we can know the arrangement of sepals and petals, that is perianthropes. So, the type of estivation exhibited by them can also be known by observing the floral diagram, and the overlapping nature, non-overlapping nature, all that characters can be there. And of course, the number of perianthropes in each oral can also be known here. Number of stamens present in the flower, and whether the stamens are dithecous or monothecous, that can also be known, and whether the flower is showing epipetalous or stamens are attached to the petals. So, epipetalous condition present or absent, and the nature of the that is the position of the stamens, that is whether the stamens are opposite to the petals or alternating to the petals, that character can also be observed in the floral diagram. Then coming to the carpels part, so we can see the number of locules and the type of placentation and the number of ovules in each locule. That type of characters can be identified by the can be identified by the this type of characters can be identified in the floral diagram. Let us take one of the example of Brassicaceae members, where we can study the arrangement of the floral parts in the form of floral diagram. So, this is the ovary, where we can see that the two locules are there, that is bicarpellary condition and bilocular condition. So, this is about the ovary and the type of placentation also. Then the stamens. So, here we can see the one locule, second, that is one anther lobe and second anther lobe. So, dithecous anthers, the type of anthers can also be known here. Then how many orals, in how many orals these essential stamens are present, that can also be known here. So, here if you see these 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, these 4 stamens are present in the inner oral and these 2 are present in the outer oral. So, that we can see total of 6 stamens present in 2 orals. Then non-essential organs from inner side, corolla, so number of petals that we can observe here, it is only 4, and of course 1, 2, 3, 4, which are showing the valvate type of estivation, no non-overlapping nature is present. So, this 4 structures on the outer whorl represent the calyx. So, that 4 sepals are present, which are also present in valvate estivation and non-overlapping nature. Here we can show a dot above the floral diagram. So, generally bract will be there here. If bract is present here, this side we call it as a anterior side. In any flower, the side of the bract is called as anterior side, and opposite side, which is towards the mother axis, and towards the posterior side we are showing a dot that represents the actinomorphic condition. So, here this side is called as a posterior side. So, like we can also observe the sides of your flowers in the floral diagram, but not in the floral formula. So, these are some characters where we can study the nature of the or characters of the flower based on floral diagram.